everyone, I am back with another tutorial. This one I'm going to make this bag in this tutorial today. This is going to hold A2 size cards. I have an A2 size card here and an envelope. So the envelopes and cards fit in there nicely. Now, depending on how embellished your cards are is going to depend on how many you can actually fit in this bag. So that all depends on you. It is 2 inches deep, so keep that in mind. This one I made using So Saffron and the Retro Fresh 2014 Occasions DSP. I love this paper. And I used some candy dot brads and candy dots, and these are the So Saffron. So that's that bag. Now, the reason I'm doing this tutorial is I was going to do that tutorial a year ago, but have totally got sidetracked. And the original tutorial I did do was kind of an accident bag that I had come up with when I scored one of my bags in the wrong place, and I just kind of went with it. So I have a tutorial on this. I had gotten some comments on Facebook recently, and so hi ladies, you know who you are, and about measurements for these bags. Well, I have a tutorial already, so I had told them, oh, I'll just do a tutorial for you guys, and they were super excited. So I will link the tutorial in the description for this one. This is the size that I was getting asked about. It measures 5 across, it's 4.5 tall, and it's still 2 inches deep. So I went ahead, because I haven't made those in a really long time, and made one with our current Celebration DSP called Best Day Ever. So this one I used Calypso Coral, just the DSP, and some more candy dots and brads on this one. So that's that one. I will make a little card set in this, and these make really, really cute gifts. So today, since I'm gonna just give you the link to that video, today I'm gonna show you how to make the one that actually holds the A2 size cards, which is the original bag design to begin with. So this one is 6 inches across by 4.5 inches tall. Now, if you don't want to use DSP or cardstock as your handles, you can run ribbon all the way up and over and then all the way down. You can wrap it across the bottom if you want it to stay, however you want to do your handles is completely up to you. This is just, this is how I do them, and I really like the DSP on the handles. I think it's kind of cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to make this one, and I'm using the Best Day Ever Designer Series paper from the current Celebration again, and I'm using this print here, and then I'm using this little splattered print in the Calypso Coral for my accent pieces. So your front and back pieces, if you want to do it the way I do, which is just this little piece here, or you can decorate the whole front, it's all up to you. I have these cut at 3 by 4.5, 2 of them. And my little strips, I should just leave this over here. My little strips I have on these sides here, just to kind of accent that paper, measure a 1/2 inch across, and they're a little longer than they need to be. These are 5 inches tall, but I'm just gonna, put it on there and just snip it. So they really only need to be 4.5. And then for my handle piece here, it's a 1/2 inch wide also, but it's 7 inches long to create the handle, and you'll need 2 of those. So I don't know if I told you, but you need 4 of the 1/2 inch by 4.5, or if you have them a little longer, you can just cut them. I'm going to use some little silver brads. These are just 1/8 inch brads. Because I don't have candy dots in Calypso, or not Calypso Core, in Coastal Cabana, and that is the base of my bag that I'm going to do. You're going to need score tape, definitely 1/4 inch score tape or red liner tape, or Tombow if you like using Tombow, something that's going to hold your bag together. I use score tape, and I have 1/8 inch score tape that I use a little piece on for my handles, and I'll show you that. So, you know, scissors, bone folder, that type of thing, and a way to score. So you're going to start, the base of your box is going to be 8.5 by 11. We're not going to cut that down or anything. We're leaving it just where it is. So we're going to make 2 score marks on our 8.5 inch side. And one is at 1 1/4. And the next one is at 7 1/4. And we're going to turn it on our 11 inch side, and we're going to score at 4 1/2 and 6 1/2. And that is all of our scoring. So now we're going to do a little bit of snipping. So your score marks, I don't know if it's going to pick it up, should look like that. So I'm just going to enforce my folds here. And then we will get to our little snipping. This is a pretty easy little bag to do. So on our 2 score marks here, right in the center of our paper, we're going to cut up to that first score line. I'm cutting right outside the score mark so it folds up nice. And I'm just going to take a little piece off, so that little tab will fold up nice and easy too. So just up and snip. And we'll do the same to this side. Like I said, these make really super cute gifts if you want to make a set of cards. And you can make the little bag to coordinate with the designer paper you used on your cards. And it doesn't even have to be Stampin' Up! Stuff. You can use anything you want on this. I just happen to have this little stack sitting not too far from here, so I figured I might as well use it. So what I normally do on these little tabs is I just run some ATG tape on the tabs just to hold them in place. But, excuse me, you're going to want to put score tape or your red liner tape or whatever it is you're going to use that's really strong right inside the front flap that will fold back. You don't want anything thicker than 1/4 inch because these do not overlap much. So I remember trying to use 1/2 inch and it stuck out and everything was going to stick to it, so I kind of messed it up. So learn from my oops. Use 1/4 inch at your widest. So what will happen is this will come up and that'll be the back, and then your front will come up and it will just lap over just like that, and that will be our little bag. So we're going to go ahead and attach our papers first so that way we can work with a flat surface. So what you're going to want to do is move handles out of the way. We're going to need these and our 2 front pieces. So just going to center it right on that little panel. And I'm just going to eyeball it. Doesn't have to be extremely precise. You can measure and all that if you'd like, but I don't see that it's that big of a deal for me personally. Okay, so if you have directional paper, this is where you need to pay attention. I work upside down because I like having the edge closer to me. So you just kind of want to, you know, eyeball the center here. And just lay that down. So we'll just flip it over and do the other side. So again, just kind of eyeballing the center and sticking it down. So now we'll just take our little strips. These are our 1/2 inch strips. And we're going to go ahead and attach these. So yes, this is going to take just a couple of minutes here. You can always fast forward this part if you'd like. It's not always fun. And I'm going to work this direction so I can line it up with the bottom. Sticking to it. There we go. You could use your sticky strip or your score tape for these too if you'd like, but I find that it's a little bulky if I do that, so I just use the ATG. So I'm just going to snip off my little ends here so that's not hanging over. And then we'll just go ahead and do the other side real quick. I'll try to go quick. Like I said, if you're going to use ribbon, you don't have to necessarily use these little strips. You can just run your ribbon, just measure your ribbon out. I think I measured it was about 17 inches. If you want to do ribbon, because you'll run it up one side, you need to have enough for your handle and then run it down the other side. So if that's what you want to do, like I said, it's all kind of a personal preference, however you want to make your handles or decorating the front. This is just the basics on how I do these. So we'll just cut these off, and then we will move on to the assembly part after we punch some holes in here. Okay, so I'm going to get my paper piercer, and I'm going to poke my holes for my brads, and I just eyeball this too. And I'll just do this side and this side. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do our strips for our handles also. So just a little poke on these. So that's that. Okay, so we're going to set those aside for a minute. Now we're going to get to the assembly part. And I'm going to go ahead and put my ATG tape, since I have this flipped over, right on my little flaps here. And then I'm going to flip it over, and it doesn't matter which one you use for the front or which one you use for the back, because they're both the same. And since I've already got my score tape on here, we'll use that for the front. So we'll take our back end and we'll just line it up with our flap here, so it folds over nice and neat. And that's why I just use the ATG tape for that, because it's just going to hold it in place for me for now. So I'm going to flip this upside down and fold this back piece over and just line it up and just rub that. So now we're going to do the score tape, or your red liner tape, whatever it is you're using. Just peel the liner off. Put that in the trash. And then I'm going to carefully line this piece up without letting it adhere itself down completely. So I make sure that I get it straight. I don't know if you guys can see that. So just like that. Where is my bone folder? Just take my bone folder and go over that. And do the same to this side. So just lining that end up, overlapping this one. Give it a good press, and there we have the basic part of our little bag. So now we can go ahead and attach our handles at this point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 1/8 inch score tape, and just along these little edges I'm going to put a little piece to kind of hold that down on my bag while I push the brads through. Just a little extra reinforcement for my handles. Okay, so we'll just take this piece. I'm having a tough time with this score tape today. I'm just going to line up my little holes here. And then take my little brad and push that right through. Try to do it slow so I don't bend it too much. Then those little prongs. And there we have one part of our handle. Okay, let me just take this piece, line it up on this side. I'll push this little brad through. You don't have to use brads. You can actually use, if you just want to use a thicker piece of score tape to hold this down, you can decorate it with little buttons or, you know, something else if you'd like. It doesn't have to be brads. I like the brads because it just kind of helps hold the handles in place also. So we'll line this one up. Push this little brad through. And then our last little piece here. Just like that. I'll push this one through. So you can see the little brads on the inside, which does not bother me at all. So if it does bother you, I wouldn't use brads. But that's it. That is the little A2 size card gift bag. You can put cards in here. I have a set of 6 that I've done, and envelopes, and there's still lots of room for more. So it just depends. You can use this for other gifts. It doesn't even have to be gift cards, but it's a nice size little bag that you can use for anything. So it's just fun to make, and they're super cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and like I said, I will link the other one. Here's the size. Here's the size of the other one real quick. And I will link that video in the description for you, and you guys can go check that one out. So I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!